Of course, my phone's ringing. Hello, everyone, and welcome to session 109. My name is Brianna, and I am the dyer designer and human behind The Little Wolf Knits and this YouTube channel. And it is so good to be back here with you. It is Thursday, January 15th. My days are all off. I am so out of routine with filming podcasts because if you haven't seen on the channel in the last month or so, I have filmed daily vlogs for Vlogmas through the month of December, and I have not done a regular episode like this since before that. So probably a month and a half, and it is wild how quickly things like this leave your brain. If you're curious what I've been up to, make sure to go check out those videos. Today is kind of going to be a fresh new start for 2026. We're going to talk about what projects I have that I've brought with me that I'm getting rid of heading into this new year. We'll talk a bit about some new Yarny shop updates, some new clubs, some clubs that are ending, countdowns, things like that. So make sure you stay tuned if you want to hear all about that. And I'll chat just a little bit about what's going on in life once we get to the end of things. But if that sounds like fun to you, go grab a project, grab a cup of something, and let's jump right in. I actually am not wearing anything hand knitted. There's nothing for me to talk about as far as what I'm wearing. So let's jump right into what I've finished. I have finished maybe one or two things since, I've definitely finished a few things since we spoke last, but I showed them a lot on Vlogmas. I should get my blanket. Okay, hold on. All right, I figured I might as well show you the two things I finished over the month of December because you actually didn't see them finish on Vlogmas, so I guess it makes sense. The first thing is the biggest whip that I was working on. It is my Cozy Comfort Throw, which is a pattern from Molly Klatt of a Homespun House, and it's so big. You're definitely not gonna be able to see it. Hold on, can I I don't think. Oh my gosh. It's so large. This is using, oh my gosh, it's so fun. Years 1 and 2 of my Moana Island Girl countdowns from this past summer and the summer before, 2024 and 2025. And if you were here for the whole saga, I misplaced day number 1 of year 1. So I started on day 2. I was hopeful that I would find day 1, and I did, and I ended up using it for an I-cord border, and it's beautiful. I love it so much. All the ends are woven in, and I blocked it, but I need to snip my ends, and I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So it has a little bit of fringe. It's all on the backside, but that's okay. Maybe that is something I will do tonight. Oh, I haven't used it since I pulled it off the blocking mats. I actually had it laid out on a drying rack we had that can lay flat, and then I fold it in half and laid it on there. Oh, it's so cozy. I love this so much, and I think it's going to be such a fun pop of color to have in our house. Maybe, I don't know if I'll keep it out here or put it in one of the bedrooms, but I love it. The other thing that I have finished in December was they look so small. Are these gonna fit me? These are my Advent socks from 24 stripe Advent skein from the Cozyknitter. And these are for me. I have made them every year for the last 3 or 4 years, I think, for myself during the month of December. And I love them so much. It's such a fun tradition. I did them a little different this year as far as contrasting heels, toes, cuffs. Oh yeah, they fit me. I have very tiny feet. I'm a size women's 4.5, so they looked comically small. Oh, I love them. Okay, I'll keep that one on. Well, that feels silly to have one on. I'll put the other one on too. But So that is my first object that I finished out of this skein. And then these come in 2 separate skeins, so they perfectly match. And once I finish one, I realized several years ago that I have enough yarn to actually make a whole second pair of socks with the second repeat of 24 stripes. Again, because I have smaller feet. But I think just this skein of yarn is a decent size. 100 grams is, I find, more than enough for 2 pairs of socks. And so I also finished, these aren't blocked yet, another pair of socks from that skein. They're so fun. I have to just weave in the ends and block them, but they are otherwise fully finished. I even stole the progress keeper off of that one to put onto one of my whips. So yes, 3 finished objects since we saw each other last. It does not feel like much, but that is okay. I also have a few other things I've been working on in the meantime that have been taking me a lot of time and attention. So let's chat about those. So the first one is in a bag from Puff Stitches, I think it is. From Puff Stitch. It's this sweet, wintry, cozy bag. It smells so good because I have a Tuft Woolens wool wash bar. In here it's pink peppermint. And in here I have more leftovers actually from yarn, which you have seen. I think I might have shown it on the last episode before Vlogmas. It's from Mustache Yarn, and this colorway is called Hot Cocoa. I already, again, 2 separate skeins, 50-gram skeins. I used the yarn to make a pair of socks for Michael. That was actually a decent length. He's been wearing them a lot since Christmas, but I had a lot left over, so I decided to make a second pair of socks using the leftovers. And I am just working on the cuff of the first sock. Again, this is that's a good size sock. And I used every last inch. Let's see, so I wove in my ends. Every last inch of that 50-gram ball. So that's awesome. And I am just using an undyed. This is my sunfish base, my birthday suit undyed. For contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs on this one. And so once I finish this, I am ready to cast on this one and hopefully finish this up even by this weekend. I think would be really nice to have another pair of socks done because apparently it's sock season around here. So that is my first whip, and that's the whip that's getting the most love and attention right now. But I do have one other thing on my needles that has gotten a fair bit of attention in the month of December and is now lingering a little bit longer than it needs to because it is a gift and I'm not going to see the recipient until next weekend. So I probably will finish it maybe tonight even. And then block it, snip the ends, have everything ready. But this one is in my bag from A Finch's Nest. And the funny thing, it's actually the same fabric in a different color. And it looks so different to me, doesn't it? But I love both of these so much. And inside, I have 2 skeins of yarn. This is 1 skein of icicle on sunfish. And this is a skein of, troll boogies on my buoy base. Oh my gosh, it is, I guess it is kind of that bright. It's not neon, but it is pretty bright. And those have been used to make the Big Bobble Crop by Caitlyn Hunter. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Which is a gift for Sophia. Yes, it was a Christmas gift. Yes, it is late. I'm aware. She is also aware, and she reminds me regularly. But you know what? Life is happening. It's so cute, and the length is good. I just need to work the bottom ribbing like 1.5 inches. It should take me maybe an hour. So I'm going to work on the bottom ribbing tonight and then weave in all the ends and get this one blocked. You might see, and maybe this is why I've been stalling on it, that I got a little bit, not twisted, but in binding this off, I got a few stitches off. And so when you have it on, to me, I notice it. Most people probably won't. So I think I'm actually going to, here's the end. I think I'm going to unpick this bind off, straighten the collar just a little bit and rebind it off to make sure it is straight and it's not twisted. I think that will make me feel a lot better about this project. And then maybe I won't avoid picking it up like I have been for the last week or so. I was actually waiting for Sophia to try it on for length and before I did the ribbing and bound off, and we forgot to have her try it on. So my mom tried it on. It's super cute. I think it's a good length. So that is the plan for that one. And that is the last whip that I have right now, which is kind of crazy because they both should be done in the next 2 or 3 days, which means I have to do some thinking ahead and planning about what my next projects will be. And I've been dreaming. I have a skein of handspun right over there that's staring right at me. I think it's from the Green Goat Ranch that I really want to use to do I think a one color brioche. I was like, maybe I'll do half fisherman's rib, but I think I want to do one color brioche. It feels really meditative right now, and maybe designing just a quickie little hat pattern. And I'm releasing that potentially in February. So that's one option for casting on. I also have yarn from ZZ Textiles Advent last year that I want to use for a solstice and grain shawl because I have misplaced my first and favorite solstice and grain that I used a Coast to Coast Advent from a few years ago for, and it is so upsetting to me. So I'm thinking about redoing that and am laughing at myself because I thought I was going to do that in December. So I don't know who I thought I was, but that potentially will be on the needles next. The yarn is all wound and ready to be cast on. I just need to decide what I'm going to do. So I think that is the plan. Stay tuned. I think by the next time we chat, you will definitely see some new FOs and some new whips on the needles. But other than that, I have been spending lots and lots of time in the dye studio, in the yarn office, packaging lots of orders. So let's just talk about what's going on in the shop. It is a new year, which means lots of new things happening in the shop. The first one is some very sad news. If you've been following along the last year of our monthly club, a series of unfortunate yarn, because this month is actually the final month of that club, and this colorway is so good. I think it's so, so good. So if you don't want to see it, if you're a subscriber and you just like the surprise, go ahead and look away. If you do want to see it, I will share with you. It's so good. Oh, I love this. This one is called The End. It's based on the final book from a series of unfortunate yarn, series of unfortunate events series. The books, the final book is called The End. And this colorway is based off of that. It's so good. It fades so perfectly from December's, which was the penultimate peril. And I just can't believe this club is over. So if you missed out, if you haven't grabbed this one yet, make sure to do that because it will be your last chance in the next week or so. However, as one club closes, another door opens, and we are stepping into a brand new club for 2026. And potentially the next few years to come, because it is so good and I just couldn't narrow down my options. So this club is based on a fandom. It is based on my favorite and your favorite, based on some Instagram polling, Disney movies. And it is called The Most Magical Yarn Club on Earth. The Most Magical Yarn on Earth Club. I think something like that. And every single month will be a new colorway inspired by a new Disney movie. And the first one has been shared. I'm not sharing officially what movie it is, but most people were able to tell right away. It is a wintry wonderland story. And this is the colorway. It's so good. The blues, the browns, this like magenta-y pink, the layers and the speckles. It's so, so, so good. And I think it perfectly represents this movie, the movie poster. Yeah, really excited about that. And really excited about this new club. A lot of y'all are already subscribing, so you can jump in as a subscription, and you won't see on the listing what the next month will be or what the schedule will be, but you can always find it on Instagram, where I will share it, a spoiler of the colorway, and give some hints about what month or what inspiration is behind that month's colorway. Or if you're not sure that you want to opt in every single month, you could also just join on a month-by-month basis. Make sure you're following me on Instagram and subscribe to my newsletter so you don't miss out on any of the colorways, because they are so good. Other than clubs, we do have a countdown that's actually going out in the mail as we speak. So if you haven't ordered yet, it's a little too late, although there will be 1 or 2 extras for you to grab for Valentine's Day. For the month of February, we did a Legally Yarn club inspired by Legally Blonde, which was really fun. And there were a few different options for a 14-day, for a 28-day yarn, or a fiber, or a single day. And so many people got fiber. And I'm keeping a 14-day fiber countdown for myself because it is so good. If you missed it out on this one, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Also, the single day, like main skein, is really, really good. And you can still grab that one. I'm not going to show it today because I don't want to spoil it, but it will be available through the month of February. So potentially next week, maybe the week after, I will share a spoiler with notice, so no one gets spoiled if they don't want it. But if you're not sure if you want to grab a main skein or several main skeins or a few braids of fiber, you can see the colorway and make that decision for yourself. But I think that's really fun. And keep an eye out because we are going to have a July countdown again this summer. And if you're feeling girly, if you're feeling empowered, if you're loving the pinks, I think you're going to love this countdown just as much as February. So stay tuned for that one for sure. Other than that, we have lots of new collections that will be rolling through this year. One is coming very soon in the next month, and it is inspired by our favorite gals, our 2 favorite gals. And it may or may not be an expansion of an earlier mini collection that I've done. So if you're not sure, drop your guesses below. If you're not sure, stay tuned. Again, make sure you're on my newsletter because you're not going to want to miss out on that pre-order collection. And then there'll be lots of other pre-orders and fun things happening throughout the year. Stay tuned. I'm planning to have a ready-to-ship sale for my birthday and a pattern sale, which is the beginning of February. So again, I sound like a broken record. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. Make sure you're subscribed to my newsletter because sometimes I only send discount codes to them. And make sure that you're watching here on YouTube because sometimes I will give different codes for different folks just as a little thank you for those who hang out with me a little bit more, you know, because it's fun. But those are all the main things going on in the shop that I wanted to talk about. So I think the only thing left to chat about is life. I actually am not going to talk too much about life because I feel like you saw so much of things in December, and if you didn't and you really want to know what's going on in my life, go check out those videos. But really the beginning of this year has just been about adjusting, pacing myself, finding a new routine, and my word for 2026 this year is trust. We have a lot of really big changes going on, a lot of crazy things happening in our life, and so I'm really, really trying to be intentional and reminding myself to trust myself, the people around me, the process, and trust that things will work out the way that they are supposed to, which is super duper scary, especially for someone like me. So I'm trying to trust, I'm trying to slow down, focus on things that really matter. And that might mean that this channel looks a little different. I'm playing around with whether I'm going to have weekly videos or bi-weekly videos, and it might actually jump a little bit back and forth. I am planning on doing vlog time this year. So you will see a little bit more of my life in the first 2 weeks of February. But then we're doing some traveling. Again, we're building a house and we're moving. And so things might just look a little bit hectic for the first half of this year at least. So we're really just trusting things that they'll work out. Things will get done when they need to get done. Videos will be posted when it makes sense to post them. And designs will come out when they're ready to be out. So my design schedule is definitely going to slow down. One, because my knitting itself is slowing down a fair amount, and I am not working through as much as I have previously worked through. And I have just realized and gotten so much feedback that I have so many designs and so much going on that people tend to miss out on things. I'm having a hard time feeling like I'm doing each design, each colorway, each club justice, and like I'm sharing them as much as I need to be in order to make sure that they are being seen. So you might see things slow down a little bit on the design front. You might see me sharing some older designs and things that I'm really loving. But we'll see. I also have so many ideas creatively. My mind and my juices are just flowing. So we will definitely see. I am reading a little bit. I just finished Sisters of the Lost Nation, which was really good. And I'm about halfway through Woman in Cabin 10. No. Those are two different things. I am reading The Woman in the Cabin. The Woman in Cabin 10 is that's a Ruth Ware thing. I'm reading The Woman in the Cabin. I do want to read The Woman in Cabin 10 also and watch it, but that's not for right now. I'm reading The Woman in the Cabin and Michael and I are watching Succession. We just started season 3. It's so crazy good. And I've just been watching a lot of Vlogmas. I watched a little bit of Love Island. I watched Jersey Shore Family Vacation. Definitely a lot of reality TV and a little bit of true crime too. I watched the true crime documentary on Jodi Hildebrandt because I had already seen the one on Ruby Frankie, I think on Hulu, and then one just came out on Netflix. I just recently watched P. Diddy Reckoning that Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent made. That was pretty wild. I finally finished, the Ed Gein season of Monsters, and I'll be honest, I really didn't like it. It took me a really long time to get through. I am glad to be through with it. So just working through my list of things to watch, working through my list of things to knit, and trying to stay sane and calm and keep it all together through all the craziness that's happening in my life. So I hope this new year has been as good for you as is possible. It feels like a really, really wild time to be living, surviving, running a business in the United States. The first 2.5 weeks of this year, honestly, the past 10 years or so. But we are doing what we can to take care of ourselves, to take care of our communities, to use our voices, to speak up for what is right, and, just try and get through one day at a time. So until the next time we see each other, I hope that you are taking care of yourself, but I hope that you are taking care of each other, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Bye.